Good morning, trading world. It is April 11th, 2023, and this is my pre-market outlook and technical analysis for day trading the markets. The title of today's outlook is Taking the Temperature of the Market as we get ready for earnings from banks to start the end of the week. In the last couple of weeks, I hinted at a possibly finding new near-term heights and creating a new head in a head and shoulders pattern from here. This could stretch out for a while as the markets pretty much wait for the next Fed announcement. The biggest thing to look forward to until then will be earnings coming into play from the financials starting at the end of the week. Today is the day to start doing the homework on financials for potential earnings plays, and for me, looking for more short plays in the tech sector and indexes as we bounce off support at different points in the day. Nothing long and lengthy today. Getting straight to it as far as the key levels to watch for the day. Alright, here we are back with the key levels of the day. Starting on the support side this time, we get into it at our jack support, which is the 410 to the 409 area. There's going to be a lot that goes on around here. This black line actually represents where we started the week at. Then we have our queen support, which is 408 to the 406, which is pretty much where I think we're going to start to find support at today. 408 to 406 and possibly that 405 area. And then we have our king support, which is the 402 area down to 399. Don't really see that coming into play today, but it will at some point, maybe Wednesday or Thursday, possibly even Friday morning. At some point, we're going to reach down and test this support area. On the resistance side, we have our jack resistance at 411 to the 412 area. Queen resistance 413 to the 414 area. And then king resistance 415 to the 416 area. And just above that, this purple line right here is the upper edge of the weekly market makers expected move. I do see us kind of getting a repeat of yesterday, bottoming kind of early and finding support and coming back to test somewhere around the jack and queen resistance area. The main thesis for today is bullish, closing above the 409.61 with a projected target high of between 410 and 416. The alternate thesis is bearish, closing below the 409.61 with a projected target low of between 409 and 405. The main channel we are in is from 397 up to 416. The main channel below us is 397 down to 379, and we should also be aware of the main channel above us at 416 up to 425. Yesterday, market strength and breadth opened gap down and showed real strength by shooting up at the open and consolidating at resistance and stair-stepping even higher late in the day. I expect strength to maybe open pretty much similar to how we did yesterday, opening down and then strengthening pretty fast throughout the day, but even showing more signs of weakness later in the day, kind of prepping for a move or showing its hand on a move that should take place either Wednesday or Thursday. Today we do have dissonance on the SPY between the technical side, which is bearish, and the quant side, which is bullish. The futures have a dissonance as well. The futures also have a bullish bias showing dissonance as well between the technical side, which is bearish, and the quant side, which is bullish. That brings us into the scenarios of the day. All right, today our most probable scenario is going to be our expanded range day structure. We could begin the day in the middle of a consolidation and rejection of resistance. We could have a rather large chop zone for the day, but overall ending up back at highs on the day, which I'm looking for and hopefully getting confirmation that this is going to be a good short for the next day or two. That again is our expanded range day structure. And our next most probable scenario is going to be our rounded reversal day type structure. We could get a continued push lower toward the Jack or Queen support area, find midday chop around either the Queen or King support before going back up with the same energy or force we went down with the first part of the day. So again, this is our rounded reversal day type structure. I do want you to be on the lookout for our vice versa alert as well, which would have us see something similar to this, where we get a continued push up off the open toward our Jack or Queen resistance area, finding our midday chop somewhere around the Queen and possibly the King resistance area, and then coming down the second part of the day with the same amount of energy or force that we went up with the beginning of the day. This is our rounded reversal day type structure, and this is the vice versa alert. And as we go further into the morning, the vice versa alert is gaining a more probable status in my eyes. All right, our last scenario is going to be our trend day down day type structure, meaning we open gap down and start with a push back toward the previous close represented by the blue line. We find resistance on or before that previous close, then begin the downtrend for the day. We usually find our midday chop around either the possible Queen or King support area. The second half of the day can sometimes be tricky. We usually look to start the second half of the day trying to continue the primary trend of the morning, in this case, which would be down. But at some point, not always, but a lot of times, we do get what is considered to be a head fake, where we look to continue that primary trend down, but at some point we reverse and get into a rally or a semi-rally going into the close. So that is our trend day down, day type scenario. I do also want to put you on alert as well, because this could have a vice versa alert on it as well. And our vice versa alert would have us see something like this, where we would get a kind of rally before the open, and that rally would see a reversal and at some point find support. Well, we would get a push back toward the previous close represented by the blue line and find support on or before that previous close. And then we would get our uptrend on the day. That uptrend is going to take us to a midday chop, which would possibly be around the queen or possibly king resistance area. We would get our midday chop around that area, and then we would get the second half of the day opening up into what would be considered that head fake, where we would look to continue the primary trend of the morning, but at some point we would get a reversal and we would see somewhat of a fade at some point late in the day, possibly going in toward the close. So that is our trend day vice versa alert for the trend day up. These are the scenarios that I will be prepared for today. One thing that people really don't realize is that trading is a reactive sport. I started off calling, I really didn't talk about support and resistance as much as I would call them decision areas. And I call them decision areas because these are moments or areas where decisions have to be made, where you have to react, whether you're going to get in and place your trade to go long or go short. But these are just pointing out or good places to make those decisions, where we have a likely chance of a pause or a reversal for something happening to make that decision. So again, trading is a reactive sport, and I like to prepare myself by visualizing those areas where decisions are going to have to be made. So that's the premise behind the visuals, the diagrams. So with that, I hope this helps. Wishing you a positive trading day. Let's go out and make it a great one.